It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. YK in the building.
Yo, good morning.
Mariam never gets the memo. She has full green. All of us have a touch of blue. You're always that special one that stands out, right? You like unique. You like to pop. How you doing, YK?
I'm fine. I'm sure I have gist, but I've just forgotten.
We understand. You're 60.
I always forget.
I know, and they're 60. It's not easy.
This old age is not easy.
But you're good, chap.
I'm good.
Nima, you and I were hanging out yesterday.
In fact,
at the blood bank.
Yes, and you have too much blood.
See, can you imagine?
They do a pre-test before we take blood, and my hemoglobin was 11.6, so they said, no, you can't donate. I insisted, so they took a pediatric size of blood from me. And then Morale now comes in, looking at all of them with 13 point something. When they don't do 20%.
I didn't feel it. When they took my blood, I didn't feel jack. I was okay. I wasn't dizzy. They gave me a full bottle of water. I mean, I can go back for more, you know. I can actually give
This is my message last night. It was 11 o'clock I woke up. Yes. I could not do anything when I got up. I was just sleeping.
So you didn't have, what was your own?
I didn't have enough. I donated in the past, and I usually hate.
I think it's 11.5. 11.5 is the minimum. You have 11.5.
I had 11.6.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't get to 12.
And you had 13 point something.
Like you have extra.
It's all inside this place.
What was a good experience too. I mean, I felt good giving that blood. You know, it was like I was finally touching lives.
I wish I could give blood though.
Yeah, don't worry. Right?
I'm sure you have like 14.
Do they have an age limit for giving blood?
60 above.
Yeah, if I haven't given before.
Yes.
Because I'm over 60 now.
Okay.
You know, I haven't given before. They can't take because of all the clicks and...
Okay, just good at making this excuse of how I can't donate.
Hi, Maria.
I'm doing fine. So I spent my weekend and yesterday making a periscope. Do you know what a periscope is?
Yes.
Children's their projects.
Hey.
I don't understand these projects that we do because I end up doing projects for my children. I've been thinking about how do we have this conversation? I will spend my many hours going on Google, YouTube, trying to come up with us. The student is the one that is even giving me direction. Do it this way. Do it. Arrange it here. Let me hold it, but I'm the one doing most of the work. And I wonder really, like, what is the aim for schools? Is it that they want us to do it, or if they want them to do it, it's better that they do it in school with a teacher's supervision?
They want you to do it together.
They want us to do it together.
So we had clashed about it at our own school. And I think last year they gave Adire, no, before the COVID, that was 2018, 2019, they gave Adire, and I said, Adire is okay. Because if you give anything beyond what she can do herself, I want it. So my own is to boil dye. We mix it. Oh, yeah, madam, tie. I taught her to tie, and she could execute it. And I saw that confidence when she presented it. And that's what project should be about. But some parents hire in our school. They hire artists to do the entire work, hire scientists to do the entire work.
My only problem
when you see the... Because I used to be a judge in the senior classes.
Okay, so you know when someone...
They were doing a filtration science project. I told this child, I saw it, I said, you didn't do this work. And child just said, Mommy paid someone immediately.
For real?
The child just said to me, Mommy paid someone.
Teaching a child is criminal.
Yes. So, but you know, the only part that I don't like about this
is what is destroying the fabric of our society right now.
But I had to do most of it because there was lots of scissors, there were mirrors, you know, broken glass and things like that. So you're giving a child that sort of project to expect that an adult will be involved in doing
supervising.
It. Yes, well, I don't know about supervising, but really doing it. The child was supervising, I was doing it.
So we are lamenting.
Yes.
Parents are saying, please stop sending projects to us.
Send us
give them what the children can do. We will then supervise, not the other way around. Please, I feel you, trust me. I know that project. The kind they told us to do.
You have 4 children.
Yeah, imagine 4 times over. They told us to do a boxing ring. And now with the box and put the sticks in the corners and put the wires and put the for children. Please.
So you had to do 4 boxing rings?
You had to do 3 boxing rings. It was just a lot of work.
It's not easy.
Parenting is not easy.
You have to do it well. Per class is always a different project.
Yeah.
So imagine me, I cannot work like that.
So my last one is starting school in September.
Finally,
he's
so cute.
He's 2.5. He's going to start school. He's never been outside the house. We took him to church for the first time, Sunday school for the first time last week. As he entered, he said he became class captain. He took charge.
Because he wants to catch up with the people ahead of him.
Like,
the elder ones are already working.
I'm telling you, yes.
So he's not in his age class.
All right, it's Tuesday, so much is happening. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Right, we're going to start with The Nation. PDP governors raise alarm over frivolous borrowings. Oshimbajo, Bagudu's wife, make case for albinos. INEC job lobby for Onoche gears up at Senate. Soyinka Clark faults Buhari's grazing route plan. Olubadan, Emir's parley on security in Ibadan. Oshiomhole renews battle with Obaseki over lawmakers. Ganduje, I will remain in politics after my tenure. All right, let's start with the major headline.
Yes. So PDP governors met in Akwa Ibom in Uyo, and really they were lamenting the worsening debt profile of our country. As of today, it stands at 36 trillion. We have a 36 trillion naira debt. And they say that it is grossly unsustainable given our GDP, and that 80% of what we, the loans that we take is to service our debt, and it makes no sense. It says, they give an example that of taking loans in order to fund NTA, that makes no economic sense, to do that. And they're also saying that the gains of the debt exit and cancellation under the Obasanjo regime, that we have squandered that, since we've constantly taken loans. But a spokesperson for the presidency is saying that, well, this administration, first of all, of course, they call them out for playing to the gallery, but also said that these loans were taken in order to help refurbish existing infrastructure, build new ones, and gave an example of the rail project and says that it took the PDP administration 16 years and they still could not finish it, and see where they have come. It's important that we hear criticism from the opposition. And I think that is what PDP should have been doing a long time ago.
Right.
Be the proper opposition.
Right.
And it's also important for the government in administration to hear the criticism and work accordingly.
I just wanted to say, sorry, I just wanted to say, I agree that they're well within their rights to criticize the government, and the government should listen. But I just think that all of them should take collective responsibility.
Yes, for the what we're in.
All the governments, since independence till today, all of them should take responsibility for where we are at today. I will keep saying it. Yes. Nobody should exonerate himself or herself.
Simple.
Mario, can I take the Edo story?
Go ahead. Want to take it here? Go ahead.
Yes, in the Nation. The Nation carries it as Oshiomhole renews his battle with the governor of Edo State, Obaseki, over the 14 lawmakers. So we are saying there are 14 lawmakers that were not inaugurated into the House of Assembly in Edo State. Until 2 years after, we still have the situation, pending. I'd rather that he's taking, the article is written from a democratic angle, rather than personalize it between two men. 14 constituencies in Edo State don't have representative as we speak. That's the basis. And if our goal is to entrench democracy and defend democracy, that's where we should be lining up. Two people fighting, they can fight forever. Their political business is their business. But 14 important constituencies who have something to say in Edo State lack that voice because somebody's being undemocratic. And we're personalizing issues.
Yeah. So. Let me take the Loretta Onoche story. So there has been quite a bit of horse trading going on behind the scene to get confirmation or to reject the confirmation of Senator for Loretta Onoche, who has been, they wanted to approve her as the INEC chairman. And
no, REC.
Yes, REC. Yeah, correct. INEC commissioner, actually. INEC commissioner, let me take that again. Now, so what happened is that the senators are complaining that they don't want to start a precedent that cannot be sustained. According to them, Section 14, subsection 2A says a member of the commission shall be non-partisan and a person of unquestionable integrity. So according to them, this person that the presidency is nominating has questionable integrity and is partisan and should not be allowed to be the INEC commissioner at this point. But they're saying that for some reason, the presidency that the president himself continues to renominate after they've gone behind closed doors twice to lobby and tell the presidency that this person is not appropriate for this role. But he has sent her name twice, and at this point, he's now left in the hands of the Senate Committee on INEC to determine her confirmation.
But this is a very simple matter. They reject, they don't confirm. That's all.
You bring it, you reject.
If they like
reject,
let them bring it to 2023.
Exactly.
You reject, you don't confirm.
I think they too should have small integrity and understand why she is not suitable.
No, but the president is not seeing it, YK, because it's his discretion. He's not seeing it. According to what I read, according to him, he said that she's not a partisan. She hasn't played partisan politics, according to them.
She speaks
That's what they're saying.
But everybody knows that she has.
She has been.
So the National Assembly, the Senate particularly, continue to reject and don't confirm. At least we had an EFCC boss who wasn't confirmed in this country and could not work. Yeah. And it's not even possible. Magu worked in acting capacity. He could not work. But she can't be an acting rec. You don't have her election. It's not possible.
Since they don't want to understand, they should gather all information about her, send it to the presidency.
Maybe his handlers may not be letting him
just to write
these things. Please
stop blaming handlers.
Handlers. Okay, moving on to the Punch. Okay, Buhari regime borrows $2.02 billion from China.
Yes, it is.
2 more suspects arrested over Osun female teenager killed by ritualists. Outrage as FG demolishes 12 Lagos churches on alleged illegal plots. Umahi defends Buhari's appointment, says Southeast governors youth meet on Saturday. How monarchs elite aid herdsmen atrocity, says Ekiti farmers. Naira tumbles by 51.95% despite CBN defense measures. 12 states battle IDP crisis, community farms deserted, and will respond appropriately to Fulani attack on Delta, says Pandef and Men. All right. Let's start with churches. Yes, why? Okay.
In Festac area, they gave them a 7-day quit notice and asked them to leave. They didn't tell them when they were coming. I think a week and some days later, they now came 5 o'clock in the morning and demolished the 12 churches. And I think they only left Redeemed and one other church.
Yes.
And the church, like this Evangelical International Church, Pastor Joshua Obong saying they just came around 11, demolished the church, and they have been there for 20 years. And why are they coming to demolish their church? They had gone to Abuja to make reports, and before the lawyer could come back, they demolished the church. And the government is saying, come, you people are being illegal. You've built illegal structures over the past 18 years.
So, okay, yesterday I was going home, and even the markets, so we have furniture marketers on that area of the land that they're talking about. All their goods were on the express yesterday. Fire and demolition was happening at the market, not only churches. People's livelihood.
Yeah, they said one market and the car mart were involved as well.
Apart from that, I'm talking about those who had to move their furniture due to the road construction to that particular site. The Sandfield, and they're selling there. We also have a fruit market there just before the third gate in Festac. And all of that was cleared yesterday as well.
All right, let me...
So what do you think? Okay, it's not a hot topic, but it's very interesting that...
they are illegal occupiers.
Yes.
That's the point. Where I think the government went wrong is allowing them to even settle for so long.
Yeah. All right, let me take the major headline. They would, experts are worried about our debt to China, according to the report. As of 31st of March, $3.40 billion is being owed to China. And this loan is about 2.5% per annum, which is, sounds good. And it's tied to quite a number of major infrastructure, like the Lagos-Ibadan Railway and a whole bunch of others. But according to the report also, we paid about $719 million, of which 332.2 is the interest. Out of the 719, out of that, 332 is interest. So they are just worried that can we continue to sustain? Because right now there's actually another 5.8 billion naira foreign loan that has been approved but yet to be disbursed.
Yesterday, 800 billion supplementary budget, the assistant that the federal government was talking about, that Odume referred to yesterday.
Basic. Now, so right now, what I'm seeing now is about almost 3 plus 5. That's about almost 9 million. Almost $9 billion debt being owed to China at some point.
We service at 719.6 to Chinese loans in 2020.
But our experts, our Minister of Finance keeps telling us that we have the capacity, and we are still within boundaries that we can actually still service those.
After this administration, some people will not be able to get visa. They will block them. Because somebody has to explain this to the next generation, how we got here and what we're paying, you know.
Okay, let me go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue with the review. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Continue with the review.
Please, before you continue, I wanted to ask, the Chinese flag that's at the railway line, what's the meaning, please? Can you just give me... I mean, I'm confused. I thought we were a sovereign nation.
Okay, so what I understand, first of all, our Minister of Transportation here was saying that as long as we are paying our debts, that nobody's going to take our infrastructure. Because remember, there was a fear last year, in August, when he told that we waived our sovereignty.
He said it on our show.
He said it again. Hey, he said it on our show. So, according to, because it's a concession, and what that means, let me just say it right here.
They're the ones that bankroll us.
No. If you make a concession to someone, you agree to let them do or have something, especially in order to end an agreement or conflict. So we've agreed for China to have it until we're able to meet our obligations. So,
so China owned that?
No, they don't own it. We own it, yes, but I'm not speaking with the federal government.
We own it, we don't own it.
Me and but
they bankrolled it.
They bankrolled. No,
who bankrolled you? China bankrolled.
But we are not paying them back.
And then we are paying them back. So it's like collateral.
Back.
Morayo, this is how to say it in layman times. They are our developer.
Okay, if we don't pay back now, not only will the flag be there, but they too will be here.
And then get them. And then get the infrastructure. Moving on.
Anyway, we need to take this human interest story.
We call the Minister of Transportation to explain to you again. If you are not clear,
I'm not clear.
I'm concession for you there, but
I'm not clear.
Toyin Adewale, an 18-year-old girl that was she was murdered by these men, Akin and Kabiru Oyeduton. They have been arrested. They're ritualists. The way the story goes is that Akin, she was his girlfriend allegedly, and he took her to his friend's house, where he strangled her while the friend was holding onto her legs, and then dismembered her and put her into a box because he was planning on using her for money rituals. Thankfully, the police were able to arrest 2 of them and 2 other more. And the police is going to make sure that they see to the end of this case.
I hope so.
Sad story, she lost her life, but thankfully at least justice in some way. However, you know.
When you arrest this kind of people, what do you do? Just throw them in jail and that's it?
No, we prosecute them now.
Yes, and
so
then...
they killed and we still have our corporal punishment.
And somebody don't let them loose on...
No,
I don't know
but
what
they would then put them. Our governors don't sign the death sentence.
Our papers every day, you see killings,
murders.
It's just... I don't even want to read papers anymore.
Yeah, it's very, very brutal. Moving on now to the News Direct. Made their debut today. You hardly take them, but they've been very consistent, so we have to take their story today.
Try.
Federal government unveils technology to tackle fuel tanker explosions. COVID-19 cases drop for 7th week as Africa records high mortality, says WHO. Judiciary, legislative autonomy, governors to hold virtual meeting. Delta woman attacked pastor for speaking ill of Prophet TB Joshua. Nigeria may not see another democracy, they say Shoyinka. And Niger Delta leaders commend Sylvia for 2021 Nigeria International Energy Summit. All right.
Very interesting stories. I wanted to take the major headline. So the National Oil Spills Detection and Response Agency, NOSDRA, has announced that they want to start to compel tankers to install a particular technology device in their tankers that protects during a fall and a possible fire and reduces the damage that they cause. So, according to the director, his name is Mr. Lancelot Anyanya, that's the board chairman, said that tankers used to carry about 13,000 to 30,000 liters of fuel. Now, because they are rushing to make profit, they carry over 60,000 liters of fuel. So when they fall, the spills and the level of damage is extreme. So they are partnering all agencies, including the Federal Road Safety, independent petroleum marketers, all of the players in this industry, to compel their subscribers to install this device that will...
All right,
one more story. Yeah, so COVID-19 cases, they say worldwide, have been dropping for 7 weeks now consistently. The numbers have been dropping. That's the virus itself and the transmission. But it says that even though that is a positive and it's happening, in Africa, the mortality rate is increasing. In fact, there's just a steep increase, especially from Africa, and that is largely due to our lack of access to vaccines, diagnostics, oxygen. And the World Health Organization was saying that just at the recently concluded G7 summit, that they're trying to see that worldwide they reach a 70% vaccination for, the population.
It's really sad,
but the virus is moving faster than we are vaccinating people. Those who are most likely to get infected are those who have no covering. So if you've never been vaccinated, because there are different strains right now, and those ones are getting people much faster. So, if you're vaccinated,
I mean, a class of one of my classmates from Zambia, one of my master's program that I'm doing, and he and his wife are in critical condition right now in Zambia, and it's really crazy, especially in that southeastern Africa area. The numbers are really high. We have to just be careful.
Keep wearing our masks and following the
same News Direct. I guess we're on News Direct today. Governor Sanwo-Olu has commissioned a 110-bedroom maternal and childcare center in Ekpe. And at the commission, he was saying that for the past 2 years, his government have done everything to improve maternal and childcare health in the state. And their goal is to ensure that every child and mother is well taken care of. So I'm happy about that. That's good news for Ekpe.
Congratulations to Ekpe.
Moving on now to Vanguard. Nigeria on suicide slide must decentralize fast, says Soyinka. Terminal operators to contribute to total reconstruction of Apapa Port. I'm sure Nima took that story. Nigeria faces bankruptcy with FG's excessive borrowings, PDP governors say. TB Joshua bearer for July 9th, says family source. Twitter ECOWAS court adjourns case against FG till June 22. And militants reply headsmen vow to repel attacks on Delta. And 2023, how South can get presidency by Northern elders. Which story are we taking there?
Apapa.
Let's start with Apapa.
So the Minister for Transport was responding on a live TV program to a question about how he saw Apapa, and he was saying when he visited the president train, he saw sanity in Apapa. You know, usual rowdiness, congestion, and all of that was not there. Only for him to come the next morning, and everything it's like they resumed the madness in Apapa. So he's saying that the reconstruction of Apapa and the seaport has to involve the terminals in Apapa, all of them. And I wanted to say to him, sir, the bonded terminals along the Badagry Expressway, Odojo, Apapa exists, all of that inclusive. Because the chaos you saw in Apapa the next morning is the reality every day in some areas. Yes. And this particular terminal, bonded terminal at Ilepo on Odojo Road bus stop towards Abule Osun, every day hold an entire community to ransom. They watch people, school children, suffer in that traffic that they cause, and watch people die in that traffic on the way to access hospitals in Festac. Please, let's not pay lip service to this beyond.
Mandatory story.
Yeah, so the UNICEF has expressed as dismay over the continuous, the 150 students that were kidnapped from Salihuta Tonko Islamia School. It's been 2 weeks.
Yes.
They're still in the kidnappers' den. And, you know, sadly, it's just the silence that, you know, nobody's really talking about it. Anyway, UNICEF is saying that this is a bad situation and the government needs to rise up and do something about protecting school children. Parents are afraid of sending their children to school.
If it was their children, is that how everybody would be silent?
That's just quiet.
Very painful is that the noise, you know, the seriousness of this was killed with the noise of Twitter ban. We were all making noise. The same week both happened. And
you see, that was one of the things that Twitter was good for. We could voice our displeasure.
Yes.
Now, you can't.
Difficult.
So, at least government will be able to...
the federal government, 150 children are still out there in the kidnappers' den. Please, their parents are crying and begging for them to be returned.
Daily Sun very quickly showing warns of looming breakup. 1 killed, 6 abducted as herdsmen attack Enugu community. Democracy Day, nothing to celebrate, says Northern Can. Men, SMBLF, Clark promised Fulani jihadists fire for fire. PDP governors raised the alarm over FG's rising debt. Herdsmen killed 13, injure others in Plateau and Akwa Ibom. Ebonyi has no land to give to herders for ranches, says Umahi. All right, which story?
Northern Can, the Christians Association of Nigeria, the Northern chapter, is saying that really, concerning Democracy Day, there's nothing for them to celebrate because of the banditry, kidnapping, killings, assassin murders, everything that's just going on, and it's preventing people from even getting to the farms. So on top of all of this, we're hungry as well. So this has moved, the state of the nation is moving people towards hunger and poverty, and the government just needs to step up. I think that's just the message everywhere.
You know, when our president said 10 million people have been removed from poverty. I'm wondering, who are the 10 million?
Do you know them?
Or is it 10 million have been removed and 30 million have been added?
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering.
Well, that's the reality. And this is not about partisanship. because of COVID,
I don't belong to any
lot
party.
of people, no, because they will say, that's how they react. They react that it's an agitation. So because of COVID, a lot of people had to be let go. Some companies had to downsize, and we had a growth in the level of unemployed persons in Nigeria at the time. So the calculation of the number of beneficiaries from the borrowers and all of that, market money and all of those CBN interventions is not the basis.
Let me just quickly take Daily Trust, because there's a story that I was interested in. Military gunships kill over 1,000 cows in Nasarawa. We're at the mercy of kidnappers. Emir of Zazzau cries out. Forex scarcity, airlines worried as operational cost rises, and delegates to determine my successor, says Ganduje. Really sad story. I mean, according to this report, airstrikes, actually, armies struck this community in Nasarawa, and according to them, bandits had shot at the security, some of the security operatives there, and in response of that attack, they almost cleared the entire community, and almost all the cows, about 1,000 cows, were killed, and the herders ran for their lives. I mean, this was totally, I don't understand how that could have happened.
Unintended consequence of
yes,
it happens.
And they said that the Emir of Zaza is also crying out desperately that his community is under attack, especially even the fact that he's saying that in his community they have quite a number of military stations there. So it's like, if my community can be this under attack when I have quite a bit of military stations, that it means that they're not safe at all.
Nobody is safe.
Nobody is safe. So they have a lot of military.
Which is what I would have really wanted us to talk about on the point, the next paper. The
point, yes, I was going to take that paper next. The point, exclusive 2023 presidency, mistakes IAPC must not make, says Yahaya Bello. FG targets 2.37 trillion operating surplus from MDAs in 2022 budget. And how police extort money from travelers with POS in Osun. This is the Point newspaper.
So I clearly read to see where the mistakes that the party should not make in 2023, and he was simply talking about internal democracy within the party. We have a lot of issues, especially this, this detachment they have from reality that Nigerians are suffering. I wanted him to talk about that, but we did not see it. It was just about internal democracy, registry parties, and how well he's done as governor in Kogi State.
I don't know why people are talking about politics. I mean, it's actually really disheartening when people are discussing politics. I mean, I saw Yoshomole. I mean, yeah, when there's a lot of insecurity, everybody, all voices must be united on this issue.
Let's address issues.
Let's address this issue. Politicking at this stage.
Personalizing them, politicking, and all of that.
Final paper is the Nigerian Tribune. Nobody took the Shoyinka story. We don't want to take it, right?
We don't want trouble.
Nigeria defaults.
There's no trouble. He's just saying things that we know already now.
Nigeria defaults on the $200 million Mambila settlement agreement. Picture here of this young man. His name is Ferdinand Maumo in Makoko, 2021 chess champion, having a chess game with the governor of Lagos State.
Young guy. Nigeria
needs leaders who will unite countries, says Oshimbajo. Government reserves turning into hideouts for criminal headsmen. Ekiti farmers cry out. Okay.
I was very impressed with this boy when he won the,
the tournament.
Yes. Small, and from indigent community, the opportunity that intelligence got him. Now he's sitting with the governor.
Okay, so the chairman of AFA, that's the Farmers Association of Nigerian Farmers, have cried out, Mr. Adeniran Alagbada, says that Fulani headsmen, criminal headsmen, I would say, criminal headsmen wreak havoc on the farmers and residents of the state, and they're using their reserves as hideouts. And they're asking that the governors and the government should please come to their aid, because all their reserves have been taken over by these killer headsmen. All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, what's hot? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, everyone has talked about it. Everyone has discussed it on different platforms. But your view is yet to talk about it. And until we talk about it, it hasn't been spoken about.
That's funny.
So, today we're discussing the trending issue over the weekend about a minister, Tope Alabi, and another younger minister, Adeyinka Alashiyori. What happened was that, according to the story and the reports that we saw, Tope Alabi actually was ministering and then talked about a song, Onidurumi, and criticizing the fact that, according to her, that God is not, according to her words, God is not her Oniduru, because according to her, Oniduru, God is much more than an Oniduru. Now, Oniduru in English is guarantor. And then it went viral. People were now criticizing, accusing her of trying to bring down a younger gospel artist. People were now criticizing her. Also, why would anybody criticize the name of God? Because according to people, you can call God whatever you choose to call God. And also, others started dragging her, bringing up issues of, oh, this is not her first time. She has done it before. And then throwing shades at somebody who many believe has been a minister of God. So the question, therefore, as I said, we don't like to gist on this platform. We like to bring out the issues and the learnings. So in every experience, we try to, what are the learnings from this? And how do we become better people from this experience? So I'll come to you, Nima. I'll start with you because I know you're familiar with this story. What are your thoughts? Because my own reservation, yes, somebody obviously goofed. Obviously, it was clear. There's no way, there's no side you won't talk about this thing from. Yes, it was a goof, and I think we all acknowledge that. But the response that came afterwards is what was disheartening. Like the way people began to bring out stuff from her past. Was that necessary? And in your view, do you think her utterance was actually intentional or premeditated? Because that's people were being judge and jury. Oh, she thought about it. Oh, others are saying maybe it was just a loose talk. So in your view, how did you interpret that whole thing? Was it a loose talk or was it premeditated?
So prior to this, all of the Yoruba songs that I usually reflect on that I call gospel songs are Tope Alabi's songs. Prior to this. So I saw the video where she now made mention of it, and because of that, I know that there's another lady, young person singing the song. What I saw was arrogance in correcting. And it's not to gospel artists alone. Now, we don't have gospel artists a lot in Muslim football. You see people claiming to have knowledge and trying to correct a younger person, but not from a place of love. I clearly turn off sermons, especially in Yoruba language, from even Islamic scholars. When I hear that arrogance, you're trying to talk about a person, you say, oh, Bonuni, all those kind of things, they do it a lot. In every correction, you do 3 lines of correction, and then you end it with, Koronu, Okbonu, those kind of things, calling people stupid, calling them lack of thought. And I saw that in what she did. So she wanted to correct the song, and it was later on I found the thing did not even have any negative meaning. She made it seem like, the girl wasn't well thought, the song wasn't well thought through. She didn't make it. At some point she was saying, when you receive ministration, you have to think it, digest it, chew it. And I kept waiting for the negative. I didn't find it. And so a lot of people thought, why is Madame just attacking this poor girl? Because a lot of people also had used this song as their own ministrations as well that loved it. So for me, let's use knowledge, correct. Let our knowledge not bring us to that point of arrogance. God himself hates arrogance. And these are gospel artists. And because she came from that point, a lot of Nigerians, including myself, felt you are not only yourself. And people started to dig up her past. People started to check. So videos from what she had done, the mistakes she had made in the past, because she's not giving this girl a green-on period. Okay, so
I'll let Mariam's initial thoughts, because that's where I had an issue with people using your goof to begin to dig out your past. Like they are also saints, or they are, because for me it came as hypocritical. It's because we see her own goof. We all have goofs in our own private homes. We all have things where we say things about people, oh, this person, that person is stupid. But because it doesn't come out on social media, suddenly now we are the saints and this is the devil. So that was my issue with that. But let me hear your initial thoughts. Yes, Mikey.
TV, OAP, is that not what they call people like us?
Yes.
As an OAP,
yeah.
if you goof, you have goofed publicly. Even if you goof in the privacy of your home, once it goes outside, people are going to talk about it. People are going to... So that is why you owe it to yourself to be careful of anything you say or do, because they're going to come for you.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Yeah.
Good or bad. I mean, there is something that maybe I said or we said on TVC last week, and something came on, you can still get Twitter alerts, and somebody was abusing me.
Imagine that.
Tag TVC, tagged me, said, God punish all of you. And I'm like, what?
What did I do?
I don't even know what was, I just blocked it and deleted it, and I just moved on, and I'm like, so because you are out there publicly, people think it's their right
To access you.
to abuse you or criticize you. So you have to take responsibility for whatever you do or say.
Yes, so my thoughts are, first of all, because of who she is, I don't listen to a lot of Yoruba gospel artists, but I found about her because of your view and the way Mariah, I think your husband loves him so much, so Mariah talks about Alabi quite a lot. And she's always just preached, like good news, the good messages. And I understand the position of someone that can make a mistake and say something. So I've even found myself in a position where someone was describing, her own relationship with God. And in my response to that person, I thought, why are you limiting God? That was, in my own opinion, I felt like the way she's talking about her relationship with God is like she has put him in a box when God can be much more than that. And at the time I said it, it came only from a place of just giving my own opinion as well. I wasn't denigrating, I wasn't calling her out, I wasn't shading the person. It was just saying, the way you are worshiping your God is very different from the way I see it. But I got to understand that later, it is not your right, it is not my right to tell someone else how they should see their God or the sort of relationship that they should have with their Father. And how he responds to them is different from the way he responds to you. So we should be humble in how people, when we receive people's stories, hold it to your chest, and you and your God can discuss how they, but it's not for you to come out in public and call someone out on their own relationship with their own Father.
Yeah.
But also, I think she must have said, because she made a mistake. It was a slip of tongue.
Yeah.
And we need to address these sort of things with grace. Let's not stop this cancel culture of calling people out and tearing them apart.
Okay, I'll go to that when we come back, because that's where I want us to take this conversation to. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
He's not Kuku hearing me yet. Maybe it's 10 o'clock, we're done with this.
I can hear you if it's me you're talking about.
All right, sir. Okay, we'll come to you at 10 o'clock, sir. All right, sir.
All right.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still talking about this issue of calling out people on social media. So, because the truth is, yes, this is the world of social media. When mistakes happen, people go out and drag. But shouldn't we know the kind of people to be dragging? I don't know. That means sometimes I feel that, I'm not trying to be partial here, but I don't know if I respect the grace upon somebody's life. I don't know. I can't use the same mouth that I used to praise and I used to condemn. I don't know how people do it. It was so difficult for me. So yes, she goofed, no doubt about that. No, but is there a way we can call out our goof respectfully, not disrespectful like we have done? So that's my own issue.
This has trended for so long. I remember the former governor and the artists, this very popular artist that I am a fan of, were trending one time for calling him all sorts of names. And I was able to say it on the show that you are Bayani. You know, adults don't behave like that publicly. You would expect that till now, should have reached out to this young lady or do something. We don't know. But then you made a mistake publicly. My people say now, if you make your mistakes public, the whole world will see it. And then when you want to make your corrections, don't naked me in public and come and tie me rapper inside. So if you made that mistake public, you naked the girl publicly, do something publicly to address it so that people will shut up for life. Everybody in Nigeria, including the artists that make gospel entertainment, about something to say. People we know who have dirty linens in their own cupboard that their own have not come out. I've said something about it. So I would rather she addresses it because she's someone that a lot of people respect. So respect people back and address it, but she hasn't.
But there's also another part where she did not think she did anything wrong. Where she felt that the Holy Spirit told her what to say and she was prepared to to face the consequences. There's another thing.
That told her.
No, there's another thing about that where some people will say, I said what I said and I'm not backing down and I stand by it and this is how I feel. And she's willing and ready for what she expects. In fact, some people would even say that that is what happens to evangelists. People that stand up for God, they will get this kind of backlash when you stand up for the word of God. So there's that. If you do not feel the need to say sorry, that's another thing where we can come up with a PR statement of, oh, we're sorry. If you don't feel like it, then don't say it, but be willing to accept the consequences of your actions.
But which is see, another thing, see, I also respect the grace upon the Inkala Shiro's life, the other young lady, because even when people are there talking about this whole thing, she has been calm. You could see that this is somebody who God is using at this time. And she hasn't really taken the opportunity to come and, be all noisy about this whole thing. She's been very, very calm. And I don't like that. I have an issue with when people who don't have long-term beef for Tope Alabi will now use this opportunity. That's where I have a problem with.
And that's because I don't know any of them. So. What was the past that they brought out?
Let me take this call. Let me take this call from Mike. Mike, I'll give you that. Good morning, Mike. Are you there? Thanks for calling from Wales.
Yeah, good morning, Morayo.
Good morning.
Yeah, just on a lighter note, this is not my first time of calling, but the first time I called, you lady didn't clap for me, so I did my clap.
How did you
All right. Okay, good morning. Just a quick one. You see, the truth is that what I saw in Tope Alabi's, sermon, will I call it, or preaching or what, is pure pride, arrogance, and, you see, pomposity. You call somebody, this person is, you can call God what pleases you. We've seen people that have called God the name that they want God, that they feel that if they call God this thing, it will satisfy them. People praise God the way they want. David, the only way David knew how to praise God was to dance. And there was a woman that, according to the Bible, she was the only woman that was barren throughout because she condemned David for dancing.
Yes.
Leave people the way they want to praise their God. This same Tope Alabi, we saw video where he was praising Yahoo boys. He was praising Yahoo. Nobody disturbed that. Leave people the way they want to praise their God. That is just it.
All right. Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, please give me the gist because
I don't want to.
I like gists.
The caller has given you some of the background, but no, in this industry now, what we are finding out is that they are competitors. Everybody wants to be the major, and Tope Alabi has dominated this industry for a while as the head, as the lead. She continues to
by her own doing or by God's grace.
By her doing. But she's been a pace setter. She's done well for herself. And even when she made her mistakes, because of the might of her grace, let me speak like Mariah now, people have overlooked it.
So
now she is calling out somebody not for a mistake. Literary criticism is normal across the world. These two people are creative artists. They've sang songs. People can come from the place. Even while studying in literature those days, we used to read criticism of artworks to understand and better appreciate artworks. So I would have loved that she does it from a creative, from a creative position, but that's not what she did.
Nima, let me come at Nima. Nima on this table said, was it last week or something, that social media has become judge and jury. Yeah. So you sit down, you watch a video, and you can detect from the video that this is premeditated. Oh, what's Roni? She said this, she has thought about it, she has digested it, she came to come and pull somebody down. We don't know that. We all read all sorts of meanings. No matter how you want to look at it, I'm not saying you're not right. I'm not saying it could be any way. Give somebody a benefit of a doubt. Yes, exactly. What if it was just a mistake? What if she intentionally, yes, she thought about it, maybe in her own private house, in her private room. She said, how can somebody call God guarantor? What kind of, she's saying this in her own house. And it just mistakenly outside, though, she now lose them.
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me show you my own weakness.
So it's a mistake. Wait, do we now make it as if, heaven has fallen down?
Say something. As a creative, sorry, Nima, as a creative, yes, you really need to watch how you criticize another creative. Because that is your field. It's your field, so you have to be very circumspect when you are criticizing another creative. Yeah. It's a spoken rule.
I just said the same thing.
It's like if another TV program starts like this and they call it My View.
We don't have time. We don't have work.
What are they saying on there?
No, it's not even My View. Let them call it another name. Then we don't have work. We make a whole show out of what they did on their show. Or
let's put it this way. Let's say that there's another show, just like the example to Nima. And then in giving a point, you say something, you said something, which you didn't mean it the way it came out. But then the other show now looks at you like, oh, so this girl out of envy said this. Was saying that sometimes mistakes happen. Sometimes we misspeak.
Yes.
But also, what is important is respect.
Yes.
Respect is important in the way when you make a mistake, you respectfully see your what is the word now?
Distracting her.
When you make a, we need to understand. See, you were talking about the other artist as well and how she has carried on.
Yeah.
That's a respectful person.
Yes.
She has decided that what is important to her, she decided that what's important to her is her own relationship with her God and her music. Yeah. And that's all she's going to do. And the other lady who criticized her, she would respectfully reach out to her. Yeah. But there's another thing where you expect, because I did it in public, I have to come out in public to help Nima feel better about the criticism that she has given me. I can decide that I will come out. I can decide that I can privately reach out to this person.
Can I read tubes?
Let me read tubes now. People are commenting. You don't even let me read their tubes. Hang it there. I'll come to you, Nima. Wait, hang it there. I'll come to you. Let me take you.
Let me read tubes now.
I'll come to you. One second. YK, we have to run. Yeah, go ahead.
Biliki says, anyway, public swearing goes with the territory. Reminds me why I don't want to be a celebrity. More like Yeye Britchie, because Niger folks go remind you how your mama carry your belly. Andrew Stratham, honestly, Biliki Moroni came. This is a side issue. Man and woman no fit close eye for Nigeria because of herdsmen. We they talk about Tokwe Alabi and Oniduro. Na side issue be this.
Okay.
The arrogance that still keep her away from apologizing and the blasphemy around the Holy Ghost.
Okay, Wyke, let me let Nima have a final word. Yes, go ahead,
So
Nima.
this is not Nima. Okay. This is us having a show.
Yes.
And me talking and representing a side of the opinion.
Yes.
So I don't have issues with Tokwe Alabi, and I'm not a fan of any of the music. Okay. I'm a fan of her songs. Now, what I wanted to address, you allowed me to forget my line of thought when Miriam was talking about something.
When I was talking about if there's another show, and then you make a mistake and slip.
So the realness and how it's possible for us to determine whether she made it deliberately or by a mistake. Yeah. So this wasn't you just singing. You singled out a song to correct. You sang the rhythm of the person who sang the particular song, because Alesha Yoria, what's her name, the Yinka girl, doesn't own that song originally. You sang it in her rhythm to address that you were talking to her. You then go on and say that she didn't receive it, and if she did receive it, she didn't think it, chew it, digest it. This is a deliberate correction. And not even you do it in a way of arrogance. Let people react just the way you have reacted to somebody's artwork. So this is two creatives doing their work, and you went out of line. If you goof, they're not going to tell you.
Okay, they don't go. Okay, are you done? Goof, can we move on now? Are we good?
Maybe we drink water.
That's all we can take on this.
I didn't read tubes, though.
Tubes you're taking away. Now they're calling them tubes.
YouTube.
Okay, so I think generally we all agree that what she did was wrong. Nobody's saying that. We all agree that it was wrong. If you're going to correct somebody, correct them in love. But we're also saying that, yes, social media time, if you're a celebrity, you need to be very careful in what you say. I have been through where I made a goof and went viral and went crazy. And till tomorrow, if I do this morning, and that's how the other day she went to go and say, you know, so no matter what, it lives. Nobody ever forgets. So the same thing, we have to be always careful. All right, that's all we can take on this. And we come back, move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.